Hello, RP26 here, and welcome back to
All
the
of his
Stanley
co-workers were
Parable.
gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
We're going to... And I'm going to show you some different endings today. Like, there's some more wacky endings that have taken place in this game. And I think there is, several
When
others.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So, what we're going to do
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge
do the
first,
human
just to
ending.
admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business,
So in
Stanley
order to
took
get
the
the
first
human
open door on
ending,
his left.
we bypass this door.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Okay, so to do the human ending,
That's her, Stanley. Oh, no, you can't... Did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone, but in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley.
I did the human
Everyone
ending
thinks you are
and the
very
suicide
powerful.
ending in the same time. Wow. I didn't know I could do 2 endings in one. That was funny.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself. That's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
That's the escape pod ending. Yeet. Awaiting input. Input received. Good. Computer's off already. This. Now we're gonna do.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
We're gonna. Oh, this is cool right here. In the bathroom. To be rich isn't a crime. To commit crimes isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He slid into the newly opened passageway.
Why? We're going down an elevator. Okay. And of course it lags up.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was
Now
a
we're not
stirring
gonna
of
do
emotion in
the
his
regular
chest,
ending
as though he
here.
felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Oh, there you go. Oh, it's right in front of him.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
So we're not gonna go straight, we're gonna go to the left.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
This is the, what's called the museum ending.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
This is the death ending. This is the museum ending.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Okay, we're going to the Stanley Parable.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Never knew that. And we're just looking around. They just turn it back on. Which way? Which way? Let's look here. Elevator. We're gonna go up. One option, two options, three options, four. Wow. Two doorways to... Oh, hold on. There's stuff that's on here. One option. First choice, obey, disobey, maintenance, and lounge, maintenance bay. Okay. I can't tell what that says right there, but let's go this way. Two ways. Two doorways to the maintenance bay. The other entrance would be hidden depending on how you entered. And then we got one option, one doorway to the maintenance bay in the lounge, and the original back on track option. Elevator to the confusion ending. Vent, what about this? Oh wow. Ooh-ness, ah-ness, ooh-ness, ah-ness. Ooh-ness, ah-ness, ooh-ness, ah-ness, ooh-ness, ah-ness, ooh-ness, ah-ness. I've always wanted to say that. Let's go the other way. Let's see which way do we go. It's the ring. Wait, back up, back up, back up. 47. It's this way. How do I get lost in a museum? Oh, it's over here.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose
What's
it.
this? What's this?
Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time choose.
He did. So that's how you do the museum ending. Did it crash? I had to manually hit it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply
I
missed a
don't
memo.
know.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Turn a different way. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so
Now
bad at
we're gonna
following
do the
directions,
apartment
it's incredible
ending.
he wasn't 5 years ago.
Now, this is like the human
Look, Stanley,
ending.
I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to...
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha! Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Now, when you try to escape, watch what happens.
Sorry, but you're in my story now. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley. Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Yes,
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Press J.
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
And then we're press 5.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room
it's turning into
with
his
monitors
office.
and
That's
mind
cool.
controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Okay, press 5.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley.
Skip chair.
Not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. Must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see.
What just happened?
Maybe this time. I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and
Something's
Stanley pushed a button.
disconnected.
And I tried.
Okay, in the next ending, we're going to be doing the...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Another one, which I think, if I'm correct on this... Oh, this is different.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So we gotta go up the stairs.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief,
To the
Stanley
receptionist's
decided to
desk.
go up to his boss's office. Hoping he might find an aunt. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I think it's on this on this computer. Okay, so we're gonna go down the stairs. We're gonna go straight ahead back to where we were. We gotta remove the doors that we just went through.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
Now this is how you get the game ending.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
So instead of going through the red door, you go through the blue.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you?
Yes.
Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback.
So in
here.
the game ending, you get different ratings, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 being the best, and 1 being the worst. You click 5.
You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Let's look. Mussolini? Adolf Hitler was on that list too.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you?
Of course.
Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to
I'll
keep
give
notes
it
on your experience.
4 seconds of approval. I'm just kidding.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Yeah, we go to Minecraft.
Well, Stanley, is this any better? At last, the one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough? Well, I'll say this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house. This will go here. No, here. And then... Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes, it's complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy. Ah, but you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable. Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything. Yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
Did you put the door back on? No, it was still missing.
Oh my, it looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
I think you can hear the Minecraft theme too. Listen.
Oh, no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
Yeah, I couldn't see anything anyway. Portal?
Yes! I don't even know what this game is, but I love it. You, trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Oh, it's a puzzle. critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte. No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these games.
I thought ahead. Here we go, yay! I think ahead, Mr. Narrator. 510. 509. And I think this is the original setup for the Stanley Parable. Conway Twitty. What ain't Conway Twitty? What? They sound so similar.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Haul with it. Lead straight ahead.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Alrighty. Alright, let's go.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any...
Let's go begin this game again. That's much
How
better.
long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
So there's a way you can... This is cool right here.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time.
And this is how you get the heaven
Stanley decided to
ending.
go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
Oh, wait. I just figured it out.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if
Let's take the heaven ending. That's how you do the heaven ending. Oh, there's a message on the phone. Alright, well, we did the heaven ending several hundred times now. Alright, and that's going to be it for today's video. And tomorrow will be the last day I'm going to upload until Christmas. So, I will see you guys Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So, after Friday. So, anyways, stay safe, guys. Have a excellent day out, and I will see you guys tomorrow. RBG6 driving out. Bye bye.